Buenos tacos, January 4th. Blessings to all you guys out there. Any opinions are those of mine, not to be representative of the company which I work for. I am in Salinas, California at the new Loves, and I'm going to try and do all this food prep for supper and try and talk at the same time. We'll see how see if we can derail this train. So anyways, so I left Salt Lake City. What is today? Thursday? No, Friday. Uh-oh. See, I don't even know what day it is. I think it's without looking. Oh wait, I know. I said today is the 4th, right? Thursday. Okay. Yeah, Thursday, because we had our huddle call today. And I left Logan, Utah on the 2nd? Yes, the 2nd, because New Year's Day, I watched the movie The Boy and the Heron. And then that night / the next morning, I hooked the trailer there at the lot. So that would have been the 2nd. Went up to Logan, Utah to swap trailers, drop and hook, and then head on out from there to San Leandro, California. So a cool thing is I was able to see the Golden Gate Bridge this morning. That was a first for me. That was my first time that close to the Pacific Ocean. My previous trip was up the I-5 out of Los Angeles. So, like I said, I was able to see the Golden Gate Bridge this morning, which is pretty awesome. Right now it's probably 6-7 miles away, but hey, I still saw it. It counts for something, right? So, back to leaving Utah, headed this way. There was a system that was coming through, and that was on, was that Wednesday night? That system came through the Sierras. Because Tuesday I made it to Tuesday I made it to the Petro, just west of Salt Lake City. Tooele, I think it's the name of the town. Tooele. Tooele. I made it there, and I had about 30 minutes, I think, left on my 14-hour. Made it there, personal hygiene, and then I left before sunrise Wednesday. And I knew the weather was going to be bad because I think it was Wednesday night and Thursday is when they were forecasting the snow in the Sierras and Donner Pass, because my routing was bringing me down I-80 to basically into the Bay Area of San Francisco and the Oakland. I don't know. Anyways, I had informed my people. I sent them a message saying that I'm probably going to be late to the delivery, which was today, the 4th at 11. And they said, okay, they'll notify some person. So the drive from Tooele. Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk with my mouth full too. The drive from Tooele, Utah, into my fuel stop in Nevada. Let me go look at my notes here. Do I have it written down? No. It was a load of cream cheese. 42,000 pounds total weight. But I had a fuel stop in Nevada. Stopped there for fuel. And I made it all the way to just east of Reno. Early afternoon. I think I don't know what that little town just east of Reno. I made it there Wednesday night. In that drive into Nevada from Utah, I didn't see any snow until after, actually just as I was coming into that town to get fuel, it was starting to snow just before I arrived there. And it was just snowing. But I mean, it wasn't anything to get excited about. I mean, yeah, it was snowing, but they kept the roads fairly clean. And so with the storm system coming in, Donner Pass and all that, I didn't know if I was what my timeline was really gonna be, because I'm not chaining up. I did that once. I'm not gonna do it again. So that was my biggest concern, was they had the chain laws in effect going up Donner Pass, and there's no way you're gonna make me. We don't get paid for doing that, so there's no point in going through all that unnecessariness to get chains on to make a delivery. Even though I wasn't even late to the delivery. I was actually early to my delivery, so it all worked out. But left that place, like I said, that Lowe's. I left there this morning at. I actually took a little bit longer than 14 hours. I mean, I'm sorry, longer than the 10-hour reset. I think I went back to sleep for about another hour, and then I finally woke up and started driving. I think around, was it right around 3:30? I think is when I started driving, and I left there through Reno, up Donner Pass. Yeah, I would not want to even tickle the idea of going up Donner Pass when it's snow. So yeah, so I actually made it to my destination today at 9:15, give or take. So I was ahead of schedule, surprisingly. I was kind of surprised I was going to be ahead, that I turned out to be ahead of schedule. But anyways, sitting there, I think I backed up to the door. Still didn't get my next load, and then sometime during the process of them offloading me, I picked up the new load, or the new load was dispatched to me to pick up in Watsonville, California at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, and drive all the way across the United States to Greeley, South Carolina. No, Gaffney. I'm sorry, Greeley. Where did Greeley? Greeley's in Colorado, right? Gaffney, South Carolina. 25. So I actually, on some of these recent jobs, I actually looked up the zip code to zip code versus the address to address. I think it's like 17, 18 miles, give or take difference. But still, they all add up. Anyways, 25. It's actually 2,670 miles, because it includes the empty miles from San Leandro to Watsonville. And I'll get the base pay for doing the empty run there. And I have 5 days. So tomorrow's the 5th is my pickup time. It's going to be a live load, and it's due on the 10th in the evening. And I spent an hour doing my trip planning, and I figured I'm actually going to run out of time, because right now my 70 hour, because of the last 3 days of driving, I had the where's it at? I had the 34-hour reset on New Year's Day, and then the following day, leaving Logan to that place on the 2nd, that day was 9 hours, and then the next day I drove another 9 hours into Nevada, and then today I drove 8.5, or I've been on the clock on duty time 8.5. So I am actually going to be running out of time in about 2 or 3 days. And I'm not even being modest on my driving and not even doing a full 11-hour shift of driving. I have 5 days to go 2,500 miles. My bad math says that's give or take 500 miles a day. Tomorrow being the biggest issue because I have to scale after I get loaded, and then I'll be on my merry way. And there's how many fuel stops? I think there's 4 fuel stops in California, Arizona, Oklahoma. No, 4. South Carolina. Yeah. And 4 fuel stops, and I don't know if I'm getting full tanks on each of those stops, but anyways. So I figured all that stuff in, tried my best, and it's really the biggest hang up right now is going to be how long it's going to take me to load or get loaded tomorrow at the shipper in the morning. I'm going to be there, try to be there about an hour early. So, and of course, depending on how fast they load me, it depends on if I can stop my clock or not. I really don't like stopping the clock to do the split sleeper, but if it happens, it happens. Anyways, squirrel, red curry with coconut. I like my tuna like I like my old-fashioned thermometers filled with mercury. It's all I really eat for my meal. My main meal on the road is tuna and crackers. Mercury flavored tuna and crackers. But the Starkist brand bold flavors, they did a pretty good job with the flavors they have out there. Going to all these different places in the States definitely has see all these different, because not everybody carries the same flavors. But when I see them, if I go in the shop, I was debating on going shopping today, but I changed my mind not going to. Oh boy. I can wait a couple days. So anyways, I figured 500 miles a day. I have all my stops. This is ideally. It's all subject to change based on who knows what. The weather, I haven't even looked at the weather forecast, but the weather, traffic, how long is it going to take for the load to get loaded. But ideally, I'd like to get to right inside Arizona for my first stop. If I can make it to the first fuel stop there in Arizona, but that's 387 miles after I get scaled. And if I take all 14 hours tomorrow, that'll put my hours at my 70-hour clock at 57. And then the next day, I'll be adding 10 more hours because I have 499 miles to New Mexico. Loves there, Albuquerque. That's not even including a fuel stop. And that'll be about a 10-hour direct day. So that'll put me at 67. So on the 6th, I'll be at 67 hours. And I won't get any recap hours until a few more days later. At least 5-6 days. Probably, I think on the 11th, I think is when my recap hours from the 2nd comes back around. So I was trying to be conservative on my driving and how many hours I drove a day and all that. I mean, if I had the hours, I can make it exactly in 5 days, but I think by the time I get to New Mexico, I'll be handing off this freaking load, which I wish I could do it, but squirrel. But that ain't gonna happen. At least I'll get out of California. What do you do? $2,500 miles. That would be a nice paycheck. What is that? 2670 times 45 cents a mile. If I was to do that job alone, that's $1,200. So maybe $900 or so after taxes and medical insurance. Man. I haven't sent a message off. I'll probably do it. Well, I'll probably do it tomorrow night or tomorrow morning when I'm getting loaded. I might send a message saying that I won't have enough hours to complete, and they'll have to schedule me in for a drop somewhere. So I've been doing some thinking. It hurt. Smoke filled the truck. It was horrible. Over the road driving, I think, would be good for the younger kids, 21, 22, to get out on the road. If you don't have a house, you don't have a mortgage payment, you don't have bills and things like that, I think by all means do over the road. That's just straight income. You don't have any bills, utilities, or anything like that to take care of, so the only thing you're really doing is feeding yourself on the road. And it depends on what your diet is, but it can vary. But for older drivers, at least in over the OTR side of the house, the dedicated, I don't know what the stipulations of how to get into a dedicated lane. You'd have to talk to, I guess, a recruiter for that. If the pay is higher to do dedicated, and of course, I guess it really depends on experience too. So, yeah. Anyways, that's my take on that. And I think I'm gonna stop the video here. Finish eating my supper. So, anything else on that drive from Utah? No. Oh, another thing about, I guess, doing reefer runs, at least, there's no consistency and there's no routine. That's one thing that I think would benefit, is more, I say beneficial, but is what I would like to have. A consistent routine where, I mean, basically be, I guess, a dedicated route or even a local job. But to know where you're going consistently, I don't know, this whole sporadic times and pickup times, drop times, and the working the 14-hour clock and the working the clocks and trying to don't know. Some of you might understand what I'm saying, but this is not. It's not for me. It's something that I think that over time will slowly add to the stress. Is just not having this routine. And then the other thing is they want us to go, go, go. They want us to drive as far, hard, and fast as we can to get as close as we can, and then they'll schedule us for whatever. I don't know. I'm just a newbie. I'm just a rookie. Loose nut behind the steering wheel, whatever you want to call me. I'm just a buttercup. Can't gum it. Oops. I love me my chips, especially from HEB, our grocery store in Texas, at least South Texas. But these are by far the best ones of low salt potato chips / kettle cooked chips that I enjoy. I can sit here and devour a bag if I'm not careful. It's not very oily, low salt. I'm not endorsing them or anything. I'm not getting endorsed by them or whatever, but I mean, heck, the ingredients are potatoes, vegetable oil, and then your cottonseed, sunflower, or safflower oil and salt. It doesn't have your good stuff that they put in there. It's just potatoes and salt and oil. Oil. But yeah, I think I'll stop there. I'll actually get some good sleep tonight, I hope. And somewhere down the road, I shall be tomorrow and the following days. So, until next time, yeah, watch out for the other idiots.